Hello friend, this particular video is going to be very helpful because here I will be showing you how you can upload a file inside Django dynamically. As you can see over here, I have an option for file upload. As I click on this, it prompts me with a dialog box where from I can choose file. You can choose any file you want, but in this video I will be emphasizing more on CSV file, comma separated value, because you know that in case of machine learning how relevant it is to provide the file where from the system will understand or system will get trained, and that's how the model will be formed. So for that reason you need to have CSV file which you can download from internet. You must have seen many videos where the YouTuber has written the file directly in the code, but in real life that will not happen because the user need to have an option where the user can upload the file according to his or her choice, and for that particular reason this particular video will become very relevant. So before I select any file, I would like to show you the code structure, and then we will be getting into the execution part. So here is my code. Let me close all the tab. Well, I have created one Django application. My server is running right now, as you can see over here. Now, in order to upload file, there is a rule that you must remember. We have already seen many videos where I have worked on Ajax, and for that reason I use a static directory. In the same way, if you want to upload file at runtime, you have to use a folder called media. Let me tell you once again. Suppose you have to show some static images, that means that when the application will run, the images will come over there statically. In that case, those images will be inside the static folder. But if you want that a person would provide a file at a runtime, or I would like to send a particular file to someone at the time when the program is on execution mode, in that case you have to use a media folder. So you need to create a folder by the name called media, which is currently empty, as you can see over here. So this particular folder will hold the file which I'm going to upload from my page. So when I will click over here, when I will select a file and I go and click on the open button, what will happen is that like this bybook1.csv, this file will come and will get reside or will get stored inside this media folder. Okay, right now I'm working at the template level. A similar thing you can do even with Django REST framework. Why did I say that? Because this is the template, and if you want to upload it via a front-end framework that can be React or can be Android or even can be Angular, for that reason you need to have a similar Django REST framework. But this particular video I'm focusing entirely on the template part. Okay, now once you have registered this particular folder, by default Django will not get to know about this folder, right? So you need to inform Django that you have got this particular folder. So how do you do that? So for that reason you come to the project, and just like the way I used to mention the static inside the settings, same way you need to mention the URL first, that is /media/, just like the way we used to mention /static/. Here also you have to inform, so /media/. So this is the first thing you have to do it. So that will tell that we have, the folder media will be available in the URL. Now since you have created a folder called media, you need to inform Django that you have a folder called media, and the way we do this is again just like the way we did in case of static, the same thing, os.path.join base dir media, and that will be registered under the reference called media_root. Okay, so that's how these two configuration is very much required in case of execution. Okay, fine, that's great. Now, so I have created one app, and if I show you my urls.py, if you come over here you will find that I have given a call to the app urls.py. So I will come over here. Well, in many videos you must have seen this line written, but I have written a comment line over here because I am just uploading the file right now. I'm not doing any kind of file download. So if I go for download, then I need to include this particular configuration. But since at this level I'm just going to upload the file from my front end. That means my template will be uploading the file to the server. For that reason, this line is not required. I have seen many videos where the YouTuber write this line even if they are not doing any kind of download operation. So initially I was also having the assumption that this line has to be written, but later on when I did my study, I understood that this file line is not required at the time of uploading. So for that reason, I have commented this line in some video where I will be using download feature. Then I will enable this particular configuration. So for the time being, you can skip this particular line. Okay, so let's move on to my app urls.py, and my app name is called pages, and I have got just only one route over here, and that will give me a call to this particular function based view. Fine. And let me show you the template. I have created just one template, this particular template which you are seeing right from the very beginning, who is responsible for my file upload. So this is the template. I will go through the template as well, don't worry about that. So let's move on to the function, and here is the function, and here is my FBV, function based view. So let's understand that what is happening inside this function. Parallelly, we'll also go through the template. Now since I'm using Bootstrap over here, so I have given the Bootstrap, and I'm still continuing with my, well, in this particular program I did not use Ajax. Let me tell you one thing. In this particular program I am writing the file upload without using Ajax, so you can well understand when I will click on submit button, this refresh reload will take place. I just wanted to show you that. That means in my next video I will be uploading file with the help of Ajax, so that you are very clearly has got a clear picture that what is the difference between uploading file without Ajax and with Ajax. That difference is crystal clear to you all. So since I will be using Ajax later on, so for that reason I have still maintaining static, but inside the static I don't have any Ajax code. I've just downloaded the Bootstrap file and the jQuery library, so I'm not going to use a CDN link. Well, this is also a way you can use it. So for that reason I've given call to this particular line that is referring to my static jQuery without using CDN. In my previous videos you have seen CDN. This is another way of doing it. Just because Ajax is not there, that's the reason I kept this JS folder. I didn't want to keep it empty. For that reason I just downloaded the jQuery file and kept it over here. Okay, that is great, isn't it? Similarly, I have also got the CSS if you want to do some kind of styling, so that also is there. I have given a call to the static CSS. See, this is Django tag, static has been used. And for the Bootstrap, for the CSS, I have taken the CDN link. So this is how I have provided over here. And look, this particular code has not splitted my application like I used to create a base.html file and then I create a separate file while I do the actual operation. I did not do that. It's just one single file, because my main motto over here to make you understand that how exactly the file upload will be taking place and what is the minimum requirement for that. But once you have understood the concept, then you can split this entire program or entire file into multiple files. That would be the actual need, okay, because you should not put the whole thing into one file. That is a very bad practice. So in my next program, next video, I will split this entire thing into multiple parts. Fine. Okay, so since I'm going for file upload, let me close all this thing so that it looks neat and clean. Since I'm going for file upload, at that point of time, or I mean whenever you use file upload, you have to write this particular attribute enctype multipart / form - data. If you write this, then only the file will be uploaded to your server, because when the file upload will take place, the file needs to be broken into parts, right? And for that reason encoding type has to be mentioned. So multipart / form - data is used when you are uploading file. Well, you might ask me a question that what if I have a text box over here, I have a text area, I have a radio button, I have a drop down, I have a checkbox, along with that I have a file upload. In that case also you have to use enctype. To summarize, enctype will be there whenever you have a file upload option, whether you are including some other DOM or not, it makes no difference. you are uploading a file, that means the enctype multipart/form-data has to be there. Clear? Second, again we have to implement CSV token because this particular template will be requested. So when you will come to the localhost and you will hit the enter, so this particular template is coming from the server, so definitely CSV token has to be there. As you can see, the token is right over here, so that is still required. Got it? Okay, great. So far, since I'm going to upload a file, for that reason we have to use the DOM type called file. So we have separate DOM like text, we have a DOM like numbers. So since this particular DOM is related with file upload, so the type would be file over here, and I have given the name of this DOM as also file. You can choose whatever name you feel like, and this is very important because later on Django will identify this DOM because it has to read the data from the file. So at that point of time, this particular DOM name will be very important. And then the user will click on submit button, and once the user clicks submit button, the data will go to the backend. Now let's come to the backend, and here is my route. Let's open the function. So here is my function. So just like the usual way, what I have done is I have declared couple of global references. Well, just now I have got only one function, maybe I will be having some other function. So just to keep a track of those information that is getting done in this particular function, so I have created a couple of global variable. One is a dictionary which I have created, and the other one is panda. I have given a call to panda. So this is the first time where panda is coming in picture. Well, you have seen many videos in panda, I believe you know those things, but this is a different view of panda, that what panda is actually going to do over here. When you are uploading file to Django, panda will play a very crucial role. Let me show you where panda will come in picture. Okay, so that means couple of references there. One is of type dictionary, the other one is of panda data frame. Now why data frame? The reason is the CSV file will have multiple rows and multiple columns. So multiple columns are there, multiple rows are there, so that's the reason it is a data frame. Otherwise it could have been a series. But since my CSV file will have multiple rows and columns, because later on if you're planning to go for a model building, you need to have your data file with multiple rows and columns. So in that case you have to give a call to the data frame rather than data series. Okay, so as usual the name of the function is there, and now since I'm using this as a global reference, so global will be, global keyword is been used, global context and global df reference of the data frame from pandas. Now when this particular file will be initially loaded, at that point of time post method will not come in picture, the render will be given a call, the template will be shown in the front end, and because of that reason you are seeing this particular template. Great. And now you will give the input, that is a file, and as you click on the save button, what will happen? What will happen as you click on the save button? Well, when you click on the, well, it's not a save button, it's just a button. When you click on the button, this particular media folder will store the CSV file, which is right now empty. As you can see, it does not have any file right now. So let me show you one thing, that what happens now. Let me click on this. Let me select a particular baseball player.csv, and I click on the open button. The file name comes over here, and immediately if I click on the upload button, you see some statistics over here. Not statistic, you see the actual content of your CSV file that is now in front of you. Got it? But do you know that this particular file has already been uploaded to Django and it is present inside your media? See, it came over here. So if I right click, you will get to see the content. You will be able to see the content. And if you notice very minutely, you will find something very interesting. Look over here, there is no data available. There is no data available, and that's the reason why it will be showing over here NAA, not a number. Same goes with this one, NAN, not a number. So that means over here also we have a missing value, not a number. So how many rows are over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So total 10 rows are over here, right? But out of those 10 rows, there are a couple of rows which actually don't have the complete number. That means it is not a numeric value, so there is some missing value, and this is also a problem that you will come across when you go for machine learning. So you have to handle that problem. Got it? So you can see that the when you are uploading the file dynamically, the file should get stored inside your Django, and for that reason media is used. So now I will show you how this particular file upload took place. So after you have selected this, you clicked on the upload button. That means your request.method equals to post, because your form was method type post, so that got fired, and you are uploading file. For that reason we have got request.files.get, and what is the DOM name, DOM element name? The DOM element name is called file as well. You are free to choose whatever name you feel like. So that's what I'm identifying over here. So that means usually when file is not there, we just settle down request.method equals to post, isn't it? But in this case, since I'm uploading file, so for that reason I'm doing two checking over here. So request.method equals to post. Yes, the form had been submitted, so for that reason method type is post, and the form also has got a file, so for that reason we are identifying the file as well with the DOM name. Got it? Very good. So both these conditions are true, right? And then the control enters the body of the if statement. So first what you are going to do, you are going to refer to that DOM element, and I have created one reference called upload file, which is actually pointing to that particular DOM element. After all, you have to read the content, right? So you need a reference who is pointed to that DOM element. Great. Now what you are writing? You're writing a path where finally the file will be uploaded in your server, isn't it? So you are selecting the file from the front end. Like as I click on this, suppose I'm going for book.csv. This is another file, or I'm going for some other file, no problem. Whichever file you do, as you click on the open button, as you click on upload, Django must inform the front end that where this particular file should be uploaded, isn't it? So as I click on this, you now get to see a different content. So that means the new file has also been uploaded inside the media. Look over here, the file got uploaded. So for that reason, what you're telling that os.path.join, and inside settings I've already mentioned where it should be uploaded, right? Inside settings I mentioned that there is a media folder where it should be uploaded, and that's the reason why I'm giving a call to settings from django.config settings.media root. So media root knows which particular path it is. So see, it knows the path, that there is a folder called media. You should upload it inside this media folder. That's what I'm saying. And what should be the file name? Whatever file name I have uploaded in my DOM dot name. So whatever the existing name the file has got, that is going to be uploaded, right? By that name we are uploading. Well, in this approach there is a small issue is there. Suppose two file name are same but the content are different. So if there is a file called a.csv which has got two columns, and there is another file called a.csv by the same name which has got 4 columns, if the previous file is already there, the new file will override the previous file, because you cannot keep two file name by the same name, right? So you have to rename the file. So you can come up with some concept where you don't just settle down with the existing file name, rather you create a new file name and append the file name and store it inside your media folder. In fact, that would be the best approach. In that case, you can have, like, even if a situation occurs where two files by the same name occurs, it will not create any problem, it will not override. Got it? Fine, that's great. So this is the file path which will tell that where exactly the Django file will upload it. Now we are going to start the process of reading. So this particular loop is responsible to read the file in the binary format. So what we are saying, the file path knows where to store the file, and my upload file knows where from to get the file. So what I'm doing is that I'm opening the file in the activating the path in the right mode of the binary format, because the file will be uploaded in chunk. Remember, we have got enctype multipart / form data, so that is going to upload the file into chunk. So it will split the data into chunks. So upload file knows where from to upload, it will break the data into chunk, and this will continue until all the data is not been written, and then eventually you write this inside this particular folder called media. So that's how this entire reading operation will be taking place. So while you are reading, you have to activate the flag that is called write binary, and since you are appending multiple chunks, so plus sign will be there, so continuous append will be going on. So the data will be finally when it will be broken into chunk, at that point of time it will be in the byte format, and when you will be saving in your media folder, it will be in the binary format. So byte will be converted to binary. So that's how this particular loop process will go on until all the data has not been written. This process will go on. Fine. Once the whole content is written, the file will settle down right inside the media folder. So up to this, your file handling process is done. But now I just don't want to settle by uploading the file. I need to see the content even in the template also. So that would give me the assurance that yes, the file has been rightly read. So let me get back to the initial file called like baseball, because it has got limited number of rows and columns. We can figure out easily. So now we can see over here the file is not just uploaded, at the same time we can read the file over here, and that is something what we are looking for. We need to read the file as well. Now how do you read the file? And that brings us to Panda. So Panda, in this particular program, I am making use of Panda for three different purposes. The purpose number one, Panda will be responsible for reading your CSV file. So panda.read CSV, this is a system defined function that is present inside Panda's package, will be responsible for read the file. And I have already mentioned the path over here. So whatever is a file name, it knows that, and that's what it is going to read. Because in this particular folder you have got a couple of files, but the file which you have uploaded just now, it knows the file name. So Panda will be responsible for reading the CSV file and will create a reference. So the first purpose of Panda is to read the file that we are uploading. I said already that I will be using Panda over here for three different purposes. The first purpose is to read the file that I'm uploading with the help of read CSV, and the uploaded file name path, it knows it very well, including the file name. After the reading is done, now comes the role number two. I have to convert the data frame, because you remember the df is actually the object of type data frame. So I need to convert the data frame in such a format so that it can be displayed in my HTML. And for that reason, Panda has got a very wonderful function called toHTML, which is like a typecasting going on, or a conversion of data frame to HTML format, so that it can be visible on my HTML page. And for that reason, I'm using this particular function called toHTML. So the second purpose of Panda is to convert your data frame into HTML format, into a tabular format to be more specific, so that it is readable in HTML. And for that reason, I'm using toHTML, and I'm using some Bootstrap classes, that is table space table hyphen strip, and there is something called index equals to false. What does this particular mean? As you can see over here, the data is showing there is only two columns, two features I have got in my data model in my data file. But if you want, you can add one more column, that is called, see, if you see the actual file, you will find that this has got only two features. But if I make it this false to true, a new feature will be added, and that is for indexing. It will tell me the indexing. So let's come over here, let's reload the tab, and let me select the same file once again, and now you will see the first feature is actually the indexing. So this indexing has been added. So it is up to you whether you want to enable this or you don't want to enable this. Okay, it's up to you. And if you see, this is a Bootstrap class. So if you come over here, this layout is of type Bootstraps. If you come to the view source, then you will find, if you call down over here, see, we have added the Bootstrap over here. See, the data frame table table hyphen table strap. So that is coming right from here, that we have added table space table hyphen strap. Got it? So we have converted your HTML, I mean the data frame has been converted to HTML format, and that reference is stored inside this reference, and this reference is basically of type string. So even though you converted your data frame into HTML format, the initial conversion is stored in the form of string. I can prove that because the string has a function called replace. So what we are replacing over here, if you look over here, I have got the table heading. Let me show you over here. See, over here I have the table heading. So what I want is that I just don't want to, initially I have replaced it and I've added this text hyphen start class of Bootstrap. What it does, let me show you. If you look at this particular column, this table, this particular caption is on the left hand side. It is because of this particular Bootstrap class, text hyphen start. If I did not write this, then by default it will come to this some other direction. Let me show you that, then it will be clear. So what I did, I'm replacing your just table tag with this particular bootstrap class, right? So if I comment this line, if I say I don't want to replace it, now what will happen? So if I comment this line, I didn't replace anything, I kept it like a raw stuff. And now if you come over here and if you reload that page, and let's go for one more time, let's select the CSV file and then click on the upload button. Now see, the caption just went on the right hand side. Is it looking good? No way, right? So over here, if you come to the view source, and now you will see just you have got table heading, you don't have the class start. This class start is missing, so this table start class is missing. So for that reason, we just need to replace only table heading to the class text hyphen start, so that the text is from the starting, not from the end, right? So that's what the beauty is. So let me close all this, let me reload the tab once again, and let me select the file again, and now you will see again it is on the left inclination. The inclination is on the left hand side, not on the right hand side. Looking good, right? So that's what I did. So we understood that string can have a replace function, so we replaced it. So this was the purpose number 2 for Panda. First Panda was doing what? It is reading. Second Panda is doing this, converting a data frame into a table format so that it is well presentable in your browser. The third thing that what we are going to do is now we are going to create a dictionary. So we are converting this table, I mean not conversion, rather from this table or from this particular data file, we are trying to come up with some summary, and that summary is what I will be getting through with the help of describe. So describe will give me some statistical summary like the mean value, the standard deviation, the max, the mean, the total count. These things will come in picture. Okay, so that is we will be getting that from the describe. So statistical information Panda will providing us. So that's the third purpose. So I need to showcase this statistical information to my template, to my HTML. How will I do that? Well, for that reason I created one dictionary by the name called context. So I'm saying that yes, I have successfully done the operation, so I've given the success value as true, and I want to pass on to the table tag this entire string, whatever I have done over here. So this is my value, this is my key, and there is another key that is called describe, where I'm passing the summary, the entire summary I'm passing. So this particular context is now forwarded in my template. So when it will come over here, it will come down over here. In case due to any reason, if the file format is not correct or due to any bug, there will be an exception that would get generated. So that also we need to handle. So we are forwarding this context to my front end. So the front end comes over here. As I said over here, we close the settings. As I said, there will be success. So for that reason, I'm checking Jinja. If condition is there, is success is true? Yeah, success is true. And now what we are going to show this particular table right over here. So this is what you are seeing. See over here, I have gone for Jinja template reference. I have gone, so template variable I am using over here. But why about this append? Means I am using the pipe operator and I am using a save. Well, since you are passing a table tag over here, right? This is all about bootstrap table. By default, this variable was of type string, right? So that's the reason by default it will handle it in the form of string. So if I remove the pipe save, what will happen is that it will treat this whole thing in the form of string. See, this is what you are getting, because by default Django knows that this is string. So you need to convert this string. You need to tell Django that look, it is a string, I know, but you please represent in the form of table tag. It is safe to represent. So for that reason you need to concatenate this. You need to make use of the pipe. So give a call to the pipe and then you write save. So in that case, what happened? Now the conversion of string to HTML will take place. See, it is so important to do this, right? These small things are very important when you're doing a dynamic programming, not just writing the file name in the code. Okay, so that's what happened in case of success. And in case of any kind of failure, then the error message will be shown. Whatever error message you're passing over here, that will be shown right over here. This error message, whatever you're passing context, that will come and show over here. But in this case, there is no error as such, right? Good to go. Now what do you have to go? Finally, this success is done, my table is done, and now we are going to showcase our statistical summary. And for that reason, again, I've written a class, and here I'm showcasing my statistical information. So let me bring you to my page. If you scroll down over here, look over here, I have got count, mean, standard deviation, mean value, what is the least value from this particular file, like 10 is the least value. What is the max value? The max value from distance column is how much is the max? Oh, sorry, the mean is 115. So 115 is the mean value that is showing. The max value will be over here. Fine. 50 percentile, 25 percentile, 75 percentile. The percentile in context to each of these features has been shown over here. Count is showing how many counts are there in context to number of rows, but it will not count those rows that has got any. Okay, so like over here, how many rows are there that has got, means excluding any. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So there is 9 rows that is there, out of which one has got any. So total count was 10, but one row is there which has got any. So that's the reason in this feature there are 10 cells are there, or 10 rows are there, you can say. So similarly you have got 1 2 3 4 5, skip this one, 7 6 7 8 9. So that's the reason, again 9 means 10 cells are there which has got data, but it will skip the not a number. So that's the summary it is going to provide. So first it is going to provide the heading, and then individual summary of the respective features are going to be there. So it's providing the heading, the mean value, the average value of this feature, the average value of this feature is provided, the standard deviation, average standard deviation of this feature and deviation of this feature. So it is having a category, and the category has got subheading depending upon the features. That's the reason why we have to run multiple loop over here. The first loop is showing me the caption, that is over here, the statistic caption, and the second attribute is again going where it has got feature wise it is showing the column name, is showing the respective values feature wise. So that's the reason you have to go for this interpolation, whereby the summary that you are sending, or your Panda is sending, that summary that you have been provided over here, that will be displayed in this fashion. So finally I come to an end of this particular video. I believe this particular video will give you a very good idea about how to handle dynamic files. And although this particular program did not make use of Ajax, which I am very fond of, so in my next video, okay, before I wrap up, I just want to show you that since if Ajax is not there, then what will happen. So let me come over here, let's choose some other file, and let's choose a new file right now. Suppose house price. I open, and if you take a note over your refresh button, as I click on this, see the refresh button worked out, although like it just went for a sparkle, but it did work. So that's where the Ajax will come in picture, so that the reload doesn't take place, and again a new set of summary or description is provided based on this particular file, and all these files got stored inside this particular folder. See, 3 files uploaded, they have been right over here. Okay, so with that we come to an end of this particular video. In my next video I will be working on the Ajax part. Okay, thank you so much, take care.